Okay. Hello, beautiful business-minded people. It's exactly 3 o'clock and I'd like to welcome you to our Zoom call na broadcasted over sa ating Facebook Live. And are you excited? Dahil ako ay napaka-excited po. So excited to have all of you here today as you come in. I'd like to have a shout out to ang early bird natin na si Grace Osorio sa Zoom at si Nanay Bebo Childcare and Tutorial Center sa ating Facebook. At nakikita ko na yung napakagwapo na nakangiti ngayon and mamaya-maya pagsasalitiin natin siya. So I see that we have viewers from all over, and as I said, I'm from the beautiful city of Cebu where I'm staying for a few months, and everywhere puro drums at saka mga Santo Niño kung saan na decorated with lots of flowers. Okay, so welcome sa ating lahat, and for our first timers, no, para lang sa kanila, allow me to make a short intro. Ako po ay si Mami Negosyo, but like my coaching clients, students, and mentees, you can call me Mami N for short. Ako po ay isang retired business owner ng maraming businesses. Among them, I was a franchisee of Chowking for 18 long years, a licensee of STI College in Zamboanga for 28 years, at meron din po kaming niran na mga computer repair shops, broadband installers din po kami. We were in the food service business, pension house, jewelry stores. And now, dahil retired na po ako, naipasa ko na po yan na lahat ng mga businesses sa aking mga anak. And they are doing an excellent job. And ako po ngayon ay isang author, online business mentor, coach, speaker, and course and content creator. Dahil ang mission ko po is to help and guide Filipino business owners like you to grow your businesses easier and faster. Kaya po meron tayong mga free videos at mga programs na tulad nito today. So what makes me happy is to share with you lahat po ng mga lessons na natutunan ko in my 40 plus years as a businesswoman para hindi nyo napagdaanan yung aking mga pains, mga luha, balde-balding luha at mga hardships na pinagdaanan ko. And these lessons are available for you on most social media platforms where you can just find me, no? Kahit na sa TikTok and all of those others, Facebook, the usual, no? By searching for Mami Negosyo. Yan. But better yet, para magkausap tayo ng mas madalas, I'd like to invite you to subscribe to our free newsletter and watch the exclusive videos in the free starter kit. I specially made these videos for you. Nandyan po, ipopost po natin sa ating mga chat boxes, no? So you can see the link. I made these videos for you if you're starting a business but you don't know how, or if you're already a business owner and you want to understand why you are having problems and how you can solve them. So, panoorin nyo po yung mga videos doon sa maminegosyo.com. And if you need help regarding business, I invite you to sign up there, no? maminegosyo.com. Yan, marami pong freebies doon, kaya remember this. Okay? Ulitin ko, yon, maminegosyo.com. Okay, so let's go to the main reason. Huwag na natin patagalin. Let's go to the main reason why you are here. Dahil ako po'y napaka-excited dahil umoo siya, no? I'm so excited to have you join me today because our session is all about managing people. Specifically, we will be talking about building self-managed teams. Pwede ba kaya yon? Pwede ba yon? Pwede ba nating iwanan na sila lang mag-manage na walang nagkakagulo-gulo? Well, this guy, ang ating guest, nagawa niya yan. And he's gonna tell us a lot about it. So we will be diving deep into how to create a thriving business that operates without you. Gusto nyo ba yon? Kung gusto nyo matutunan yon, can you please type Y in the chat box for yes? Why? If you want to learn it. Can I see the Ys? Yes, I'm seeing the Ys coming in. Thank you for that. So alam nyo ba, habang nagtatype kayo ng Y, kung magkukwento ako ng konti, I have been a fangirl of our special guest for well over 2 years na nung first ko siyang napanood sa one of the videos. And since then, I've been binge watching lahat ng kanyang videos over TikTok at sa YouTube. Kaya when I met him in person last year sa Take Off Summit, it was exactly siguro 11 to 12 months ago. I was super starstruck. Hindi ako makapagsalita nung nakita ko siya. At ang daming nakapaligid sa kanya ng mga kabataan. And I learned that these were all his self self-managed team members. Nakakainggit. Kaya right there and then, I decided that I would have to ask him to be my mentor. And the rest is history. So, with God's blessing and amazing grace, I would like to share him with you today. Now, siya isang mentor who has graciously and unselfishly agreed to do this interview. Hindi siya basta-basta, but it was because of his love for you and for me. So, let's give a warm welcome to one of the most loving people I know. My dear mentor, Coach Russ Juson! Yay!
Thank you so much, Mami N, no? Kinikilig naman ako, no? Mentor mo ako. Parang ang cute and I love it. And thank you so much.
Hindi ba bagay?
You inspire me. You inspire me. You know that. And I'm also a fanboy if you're a fan girl. Thank you for having me here. You're in Cebu. Right now, I'm here in Tacloban. No? So I'm doing a workshop here. And I'm so glad that I was able to exit from a big workshop because I have interns who can run the workshop already without me. So that's what I can do. Kaya sabi ni Mami N, until what time, Coach Russ, pwede ka? Ang ganda ng sagot ko. Hanggang 2026 po because I have a big seminar running. It's running without me.
Love you.
Self-managed.
Wow, Coach Russ, thank you so much for saying yes. No, napakalaking privilege ito at alam namin na kahit na busy-busy ka, binigyan mo kami ng oras. Kahit na nasa Tacloban ka, way out of your comfort zone, comfort place na doon sa probinsya. Saan ba nga yung probinsya na yung place mo that is like a rest house but it's really your home?
So I was born and raised in Davao City, which I also have a home. I also live in Wakwak for most of my business in Green Hills. But most of the time, I love being in my farmhouse in Lukban, Quezon. So shout out sa mga taga Quezon province dyan. Maraming salamat for, again, showing up here this afternoon.
Yay! Thank you. So Coach Russ, alam natin na maraming business owners ang nanonood ngayon kaya hindi ko na patatagalin ha kasi kung hindi, sobra-sobrang aking talking. So, dear mga aspiring at struggling business owners na nasa Facebook at nasa Zoom, pakipost yung mga questions ninyo. Pag biglang pumasok ang question, i-type ninyo kaagad sa chat box. At sabi ni Coach Russ, kahit nabutin daw tayo hanggang next year, babalikan daw natin ang mga yan. Yan. So, sasagutin lahat yan. Okay, Coach Russ, can you share to our audience what inspired you to become a transformational coach at kung paano ka napunta sa helping businesses na tulad nung ginagawa natin?
Yeah, just a quick story. I grew up with the most disadvantage in my life. Lumaking bobo at pangit. No? Yun talagang paniwala ko sa sarili ko. And therefore, pag bobo ka na, pangit ka pa, wala kang matatamo sa buhay. So therefore, when I finished college, I applied for a lot of jobs. And I realized nobody wanted me because of the grades and of course the picture, no? Not even Jollibee and McDonald's wanted me. Buti na lang, no, Mami N, merong tumanggap sa akin ng trabaho just for 1 month, no? It's actually was cleaning the showroom of this company called Philips. And little did I know that I was so blessed at 21-year-old. I'm 54 right now. Dati hindi pa usong mentor. I realized right now, bakit napaka-excited ako parati pag mentorship ang pinag-uusapan. Kilig na kilig ako kasi pala, my first boss was not actually a boss or a manager. My first boss was actually a mentor. And that mentor really gave me some books as early as 21. That was 1992. Naalala ko pa, no? Yung iba sa hindi pa siguro pinanganak. At the first book that was given to me was actually Think and Grow Rich. And that's where I saw personal development. So basically, bottom line, that's where I realized that if I want to be successful in my life, all I need to do is develop myself in all aspects, no? And I was able to develop myself. So from a promodizer, naging salesman, naging sales supervisor, all the way up to 15 years. No, I became regional sales manager and also key accounts manager, taking care of 5 countries. Can you imagine that? All because of personal development. But here's the thing, Mami N, yun pala, the longer I stay in the ladder of success, but I forgot a lot of things that was more important. I got so depressed. I got suicidal at age 35 and I realized something was missing in my life. And buti na lang, Mami N, no? May nagpadala sa akin na dati kong boss at sabi niya, Russ, hindi ikaw yan. Believe me, you attend this seminar. And that was my first awakening seminar. And that was in OCCI. Okay, shout out Mother Bessel. And that's where I started to create my Flex, Foundations of Leadership Excellence. And wow, I found out that it was not the information that will make me truly come alive. It was not the motivation, but it was the transformation from the mind to the heart, to the body. At age 35 up until now, I vowed to myself to be the transformational coach coach to support people just like me who went through a lot, who go through a lot, and finally, in just 2 days, pwedeng bumaliktad, no, yung buhay natin. And Mami En, no, I was so blessed because last week, I was just in Bacolod, in Kabangkalan, and little did I know that was the hometown of my dad. And the same week, I buried my dad because he passed away. And basically, if you notice, my energy right now is not even grieving because it's all grateful. Because again, when I took my own eulogy, I realized na all my life was hate, no? All my life was just blaming my dad. And buti na lang, Mami En, nakapag-attend ako again ng flex ko at doon ko nakita that the person who I felt have hurt me the most is the person who I am thanking right now. He was the perfect father on a soul and spiritual level, teaching me life lesson that I could not even imagine learning without the blessing of him. And that's where it started to become a transformational life coach. Now, paano ako naging business owner at the same time helping other businesses? Again, in the end, no, I resigned from my full-time job, Mami En, because it was killing me. And I went to create myself to be passionate about coaching, about facilitating, and nakuha ko yung mga gusto ko, yung passion ko. Ang problema lang, Mami En, happy nga ako, fulfilled nga ako, pero broke, right? Kasi there's no money in, alam mo yan, there's no money in coaching, tama ba? In teaching, tulong talaga to, no? So, ayoko naman ng ganon, no? Gusto ko din naman ng nagagawa ko yung passion ko at pwede akong kumita. And therefore, started putting up business since 2013 until now. I founded 5 businesses that all beautifully blessed with whatever may shape or form in terms of finances that I'm so blessed. And right now, without me being there in my business, I'm able to do things, no? In fact, most of my businesses, hindi na ako nagpapakita, no? And you were in one of my business, pero in terms 99%, hindi naman 100%, no? Nang kausap ko ng mga successful businessman, isa lang ang problema nila. Overwhelmment, stress, anxiety, work useless lahat ng kitaan when we were in that stage. So I realized their biggest problem are my happiest joy. I have the solution, and therefore, that's where I come in to support businessmen. And their biggest problem, 5 lang. Number 1, okay? Recruitment. Parang sabi ko, sa daming taong walang trabaho, bakit ang hirap mag-recruit? Pangalawa is what we call engagement. People are just there for the 15-30. Pangatlo is productivity. Kumbaga, nandun nga, minimum lang binibigay. Pang-apat, no? Their business cannot operate without them simply because, again, there's no engagement, and at the same time, yung retention. People are actively looking for another company. Malaking problema yun ng businessmen. At higit sa lahat, pang-5, no one is willing to step up their game. And ako na si negosyante, ako na namuhunan, ako na nag-utos, ako na ng idea, ako po yung gagawa. And I think that's the number 1 problem of a lot of businessmen right now. And I feel them. I hear them. And I'm just so proud. I'm just so blessed that I have the solution, that I'm able to help a lot of businessmen right now having that kind of situation in company.
Yan. Wow, what an inspiring story, no? So, nakwento na ni Coach Russ sa atin yung kanyang napaka-inspiring na story na pangit na bobo, tapos na-hire finally, tapos ang nangyari ay because of Think and Grow Rich, nagkaroon ng transformation, pero it's more on the money side, pero na-depress pa rin siya. So, deeper transformation ang pinagdaanan niya. And of course, OCCI is also my mother, Mother Besol, the founder is the late Emil Quinto, is also a mentor of mine. Besol is also a mentor. So, napaka-blessed natin because of the people who helped us with our own transformation. And now, si Coach Russ is sobrang dami niya nang natulungan after he formed his own company, and he helped countless individuals achieve personal and professional transformation. And isa na ako doon. I joined his seminars last year. Yung buong last quarter yata, buong buwan akong nagstay dito para lang sa mga seminars. And I'm looking forward to the next level kasi hindi ko pa nakompleto yung 3. Now, dahil team management ang topic natin today, nakwento mo na rin yung mga pinakamalaking challenge na meron ng mga business owners, especially sa kanilang mga employees, no? At saka sa pag-build ng kanilang teams. So, paano ginagawa yung self-managed teams? Ano yung challenge natin doon para maging self-managed sila, Coach Russ?
Wow, napakaganda ng tanong, no? Paano magkaroon ng self-managed team, no? Unang-una muna, intindihan natin bakit nagiging, I should say, 99% problem to ng traditional way of running business, because in the end, nagbago ng mundo, pero yung ating way of managing and leading people, it's still the safe. It's anchored on the past traditional way of leading and managing people. We have to understand na nagbago ng business world. Diba? Dati VUCA. Right now, naging DVOCAD. Ano yung bagong additional two? First is the digital transformation. We are now living in the digital age, and a lot of entrepreneurs who are not embracing fully digitalization, maiiwanan talaga, at I'm sorry but mafe-face out at mawawala in just a matter of time. AI is here. Robotics is here. I mean, I just embraced full digitalization, okay? Like by August will be 24 months, and I realized 10x in all areas, specifically recruiting the right people, specifically getting a lot of leads. Kumbaga, alam mo naman yan, di ba dati, kung walang enrollment goal, walang a-attend. Ngayon, my God, Tita N, Mami N, no? Linggo-linggo, punong-puno, simply because napapanood lang ako, dumarating sila doon, at nagkaroon na kami ng Cavite branch, nagkaroon na kami ng QC branch, Ortigas branch, Davao branch, Cebu branch, and it's all running without me, simply because, again, the power of digitalization. So that's the first thing we want to understand. If we are not into digitalization, we're crazy. However, there's a lot of people who are actually in the digital business, the e-commerce. The beautiful part about e-commerce, no, you can earn millions in your first 3 months. You can earn 8 figures on your first 5 months. Posible siya in the e-commerce. Ang problema lang, stress, anxiety, suicidal, kasi hindi na-contain yung success. Bakit? The next D is what we call your diversity. What does it mean? There are 5 generation in the workforce today, okay? And the millennial, specifically the Gen Z, is actually what? 80 to 90% as of this year will be now the workforce. Here's the thing. Gen Z have different mindset. Gen Z are a different creature. If we don't know how to lead them, how to manage them, how to take care of them, lagi kang mauubusan, walang-wala. And that is something we want to start to look into. So which means these are the 2 major problem ng mga businessmen. At kung hindi nila alam kung paano to mahalin tong generation na to, paano to alagaan, okay, hindi ko lang alam saan tayo pupundutin, because again, the general workforce are coming from this generation. Our clients are coming from this generation. In fact, Philippines is the best country to do business in the next 10, 20 years. The best of the best. Why? Philippines and Indonesia is the only country in the entire nation who do have the perfect, I should say, population. Bakit? This is the pyramid. 80 to 90% are young people that will drive the economy versus all the first world country. It's like this. Pabaliktad na. So which means we are now in a space wherein we can create whatever we want to create. However, are we open to embrace digitalization? Are we open to embrace the new millennials and specifically Gen Z? Because if not, continue tayong mahihirapan ng mga tao natin.
Wow. So, yung pala ang challenge, no, sa pagre-recruit. Kaya pala nahihirapan tayong mga business owners sa pagre-recruit ng tamang tao. Dahil yung 2 point na na-mention ni Coach Russ, yung digitalization. Marami akong kilala, Coach Russ, na napakabata pa, mga 30 plus years old, na mas techy pa tayo kaysa sa kanila. Hindi ko alam kung bakit. Nire-resist ang technology. Ang alam lang nila mag-text at saka bumili sa Shopee. But the other things, they don't wanna learn. Okay. And the next thing is yung diversity. Yon, Gen Z talagang hihirap intindihin, no? Kaya lang, Coach, no, etong 2 to, pag na-master na natin, sabi nila kailangan align din sa ating business vision, hindi ba po?
Correct.
So, ano yung mga key strategies na ginagamit ninyo to attract them para ma-align sa ating business vision?
Alright, so again, businessman, do not recruit, attract. Which means create a personal brand. No? Sa totoo lang, Mami N, pag pinapanood mo ako, wala kang idea anong negosyo ko. Tama ba?
Right.
Wala kang idea anong ginagawa ko. All you see is, I do this. But here's the thing, Mami N. No? Every day, I receive 30, 40, 50, even hundreds of application. Coach Russ, paano ba ako sasali sa'yo? So which means the first thing you want to understand, if you want to create great people in your own organization, whether they like it or not, personal brand is the way it should go. Wag mo sabihin, ay, ayoko na yan. Hello, Mami N is here. My God, Mami N, why I really like you? Because, again, you are the epitome of embracing change. And if we don't embrace change, where will you go? Diba, Mami N, kung sakasakaling gusto natin mag-Airbnb, ano bang tinitignan mo? Yung picture ng Airbnb or yung review?
Review, of course.
Exactly. If no one is reviewing you, no one is talking about you, how will people get to like you? Now, the Gen Z, or especially the millennials, they're no longer attracted to the huge corporation. It's a no-no for them. Then advantage yun sa mga nakikinig nating mga negosyante na nagsisimula pa lang. But they're attracted to not the business itself, but they're attracted to number one, personality.
Wow,
Is
yes.
this person that I see online do have the results that I want? But it's not just the result that they're looking for, Mommy N. It's number two, they're looking at the lifestyle. The problem, Mommy N, ng this generation, they don't care about money. Of course, money is important to them, but it's not the most important. The most important part sa kanila is lifestyle. Is this person who I'm working with do have the health that I want? Do have the family life that I want? Do have the time freedom? Do have all of this? And that is where we want to start. At the end of the day, today is no longer about money to bring in more people, but today it's all about who you are as a whole being. Health, relationship, not money, but a lot of knowledge to mentor people. That's the keyword right now. Mentorship,
Yeah.
spirituality. They're so into the, not the religious part, they're so into the spirituality. Okay? But above what, a lot of fun, but they only follow third one. So again, one, result. Number two, lifestyle. Pangatlo, do they have the vision? Like for me, yung vision ko ba align sa personal vision nila? Mami N, sa totoo lang, no? Right now, I have more than 100 people working for me without being paid. No, these are called interns. They're doing all of this crazy stuff. No, in fact, are you inspired with my setup today? Diba? Nasa farm ako.
Ganda.
Kanila, equipment nila to, hindi sa akin to. Pinahiram sa akin because, again, these people are just wanting to learn from me. Why? Because one thing, most important sa yung pangatlo is, my mission is aligned to their personal mission, which is what? Healing humanity's wounds, transforming lives. They want that. They want that. And that's what I show up to the world. And therefore, number one, your attraction will now be something you want to look into, because at the end of the day, these kids no longer want money only, but the most important for them is, am I making a difference? Remember, Mami N, the youngest Nobel Peace Prize winner, okay, is from this generation, si Greta Thunberg, and they're all about making a difference, mission. And if you're not clear about it, they'll move from one job to another job, and you will actually lose a lot of people, and retention will always be a problem.
Wow, grabe, no? Grabe pala ngayon ang talagang the importance of yung ating mission at saka vision ng ating what we stand for, not only as a company but as a person. Wow, I really love that. And I think parang tama yung direction ni Mami N, ano? Kahit na accidental influencer si Mami N. So we're on the right track. So Coach Russ, saludo talaga ako sa mga ginagawa mo. Saludo talaga ako sa mga nasi-share mo today. Especially what you're saying is all about transformation. So saludo ako sa kultura ng mga organizations ninyo. I have met a lot of people not only in the seminars that I attended sa iyong organization, sa IM Plus coaching, but also yung mga iba-ibang nasa mga e-commerce o kaya yung mga other businesses mo. I realized ang culture ng isang company or ng isang organization ay napaka-importante. So, how can business owners like us, yung mga nanonood ngayon, paano kaming gagawa ng kultura na gano'n, na nakaka-empower sa aming team members para magkaroon sila ng initiative, hindi na kailangan pupukin, at they can self-manage effectively? How can we even start to do that?
Wow, napakagandang tanong, no? It's a long process if you're just starting, but I think I got this idea from Peter Senge. It's called Fifth Discipline, and this is how you move your organization from a traditional way of organization to moving it to a new way of doing it. It's called TEAL. It's a color, TEAL, and this speaks a lot about a learning organization. What does it mean? When everyone is learner, when everyone is growing, when everyone is focusing on number one, please write this, personal mastery, meaning growth mindset. Are you a leader? Are you a business owner who is all up and about growth mindset? Because if you are, that should be passed on to your people. Because if your people don't have growth mindset, then just wait for instruction. Kasi yun lang yung alam nila eh. And therefore, growth mindset will allow them to what? Not only self-manage. I want you to always remember it's also self-motivated, because when they are growing, even if they only have minimum wage income or even if they're not paid, they will just do what they're supposed to do because they're growing, they're expanding, they're getting better. But above all, they're self-motivated. And when they're self-motivated, Mommy N, this is the best part, they're self-sustained, which means they will stay with you for the longest time. I mean, you've met all of the people who I expanded, who have grown. Some of them are 12 years, 13 years. Again, I don't pay them sweldo, but again, they're still with me. They're doing their business. They involve me in all of their business. Why? Because again, I introduced to them personal mastery, because I myself, up until now, is still doing personal mastery. That's the first step. So business owners, what I want you to do is to start really not just work on your business, not just look at money, but start working on mastering yourself, because that's the first key.
Okay.
Number one. Number two, you need to identify what we call mental models. These mental models, these are actually your values. Okay, these are the things that you want to translate into culture in your own organization, and these are the things that you will have to teach your people. An example of mental models I have right now is 100% productive, zero excuses.
Oh,
So which means, no one is allowed to say, sorry po, hindi po ako, no excuses. Can you imagine, we're training them to let go of their drama, to let go of their excuses, and it's now ingrained. Kaya nagiging self-managed kasi hindi na ako pwedeng mag-excuse, hindi na bibiliin. Right? Now, another mental model I have is no one left behind. Anong ibig sabihin? You will only win if everyone is winning. So which means if somebody is missing, somebody is losing, you do everything to bring them back. Which is we do not start any meeting pag merong late. Lahat papagalitan. Nagtutulungan. And this is what we call peer-to-peer accountability. Why? Because number two is mental models. The way we think begins with how we now bring that to our own organization. However, number three is what we call shared vision. What does it mean? Kailangan, Mami N, klaro yung vision mo at aligned sa vision ng tao. One of my vision, Mami N, Philippines first world country.
Wow.
How would that look like? Wala nang magulang na iiwanan yung mga anak kasi ang kitaan na sa labas. Gusto ko, Pilipinas, tayo na ang dinadayo kasi nanditong ekonomiya. And you know what? Gen Zs love that. I have a community called Ako Naman Muna, and a lot of volunteers are, every day we have a gathering 4 a.m. every day. Haven't missed a single day, and these are all Gen Z who likes. Why are you there? You're not being paid. You're working like every day 4 a.m. Why? Because one day we want to see Philippines first world country. Can you imagine? Aligned. Yung gusto ko, yung nakikita ko, sa gusto nila nakikita na, and they're willing to work whether they're paid or not. In alignment with the vision and mission. That's number 3. Kasi kung hindi, ba't pa sila tatagal? Sweldo lang yan. Bonus lang yan. What will make me alive is what my true calling is. What my true passion is, which is the vision and mission. Bigger than myself. It has to be translated to that. However, how do we reinforce this? Number 4, in the 5th discipline by Peter Senge, this is what we call team learning. Eto na yung Mami N. Every week, what tends to happen, okay? As a team, no longer me, because I train them how to do it. What did they do? Letter A, this is what we call weekly feedback. Letter B, weekly accountability. Letter C, weekly mentoring and coaching. Letter D, weekly recognition. And letter E, weekly learning session. Can you imagine, Mami N? Everyone in my own organization, including my farmers, my drivers, my cook. Oh my God. We're going to, because we did really well without us being there in our farm for 2 years. They created an enormous amount of gigantic profitability, and I said, okay, let's all go to Thailand. So again, I'm flying them to Thailand to experience the goodness of life. But then again, because every week they do their check-in, they do their grounding, they do their wins, they just get improving. And people who choose not to improve, they'll have to go. They no more hiding anymore, right? Yeah. That's the key there, no? Na every week may nakakausap sila, hindi na ako, but sila. And this is what we call peer-to-peer accountability. Why? When you do this, people will work not because they have to, people will work because they want to. Meaning we're moving from compliance to commitment. That's the most important part. They know what commitment is all about. And last but not the least is what we call systems thinking, which means we must think of systems, living systems, and create structure that will make sure, Mami N, whoever comes in, whoever joins as a new one, they're plugged into it.
Yes.
Diba? They see it, they manage it, they embrace it. And again, I just feel so blessed. I just feel so happy that I guess last year I was hired to be a consultant of an organization who I think a year before that, 2023, they were at 280 million, but with a lot of stress, anxiety, and the owner said, let's not do this anymore. This is too much. And then when I talked to them last year, 2024, they did 1.2 billion. But here's the thing, a lot of vacation, a lot of golfing, a lot of family time. They all got healthy, they got happy. And that's the power of what we call teal organization, meaning self-managed, wholeness. And it's focused on, number 1, personal mastery, mental models, shared vision, team learning, and lastly, systems thinking.
Systems thinking. Grabe. Coach Russ, I read that book, no? By Peter Senge. But parang it was too good to be true. Parang nasa langit siya. Parang hindi mo ma-imagine. But now you have brought it down to the Philippines.
Okay. You have to understand that maybe when you read that book, hindi pa siya mature sa mundo.
Yes.
Okay, right now we are in the age of Aquarius. It's no longer about who's the smartest. Whoever has MBA, PhD will be on the top of the food chain. Right now, we see 15, 19, 17-year-old. Oh my God, they're doing by the millions of earning. Why? Hindi nakapagtapos ng school. Again, eto na yung controversial na diploma or diskarte. Na-meet mo yung mga grade 12 ko, grade 11, hindi nakapagtapos ng grade school, pero napaka-successful, napaka-usay. Bakit? It's no longer about the battle of the strongest or the battle of what we call the smartest, but it's now the battle of who's more aware, who's more conscious, or who's more spiritual.
Yes, it is really awareness, no? And spirituality, consciousness. Wow, are you learning, guys? Yung mga nanonood sa Zoom at saka sa ating Facebook Live, no? Ako, ang dami kong notes pero hindi ako makahabol sa dami ng parang it's just like drinking from a water hose. Hindi ko kayang ma-absorb lahat. So it means that we just need to watch this again. Kaya magtatanong na lang ako ng magtatanong din ako, magtatarantang magsulat so that I can just watch the replay. You can watch it again on Facebook and we're gonna record this again and show it sa aming YouTube channel eventually. So balik tayo. Coach, kilala po kayo sa inyong hands-on approach, lalo na sa coaching, and you have created such a coaching organization from top to bottom. No, I met a lot of your team members na super young. Grabe, wala pang 20 years old yung iba. Super smart and super impressive. At alam kong madami kayong mga kwento tungkol sa kanila. I've heard a lot of them. Pero just for our audience today, can you share kahit na one success story na lang where dahil sa effort mo to build self-managed teams, nagkaroon ng significant growth in the person as well as a huge success sa iyong buong business? Yung tao, kasi
Mami N, pag nag-mention ako, marami magseselos.
Sige.
Alam mo naman, pag magulang, di ba, bawal ang favoritism. Pero wala akong favorite. Pero the most recent one, he's now 20-year-old. He met me through online. He saw not me, but the people who I was mentoring. And then he got hooked into it at 16 or 17 years old.
Wow.
And then he did not know who was the mentor of this mentor because this mentor who mentored him, who he got attracted, he's just so in TikTok. His name is Migs Flores. So I'm really proud. He's the CEO.
Ang galing.
He is the CEO and president of my coaching organization, which I no longer run. No? And Mami N, sa totoo lang, Aya Plus is already now 14 years. And nung nilet go ko on leadership and management for 12 on the 13th year, oh my God, Migs created an enormous amount of success that I cannot even imagine. And I'm just there watching. You know that?
Yes,
Minsan I just hold the mic but no longer in the business. However, again, this young boy, his name is Jed. Okay, nakita mo na rin siguro, very young.
Right.
Yung kasama ko sa saan tayo na first nag-meet in person?
Peak of Summit.
Yeah, di ba, I need to go to the banyo because it was 2 hours. And I said, binigay ko yung mic kay Jed and he just took over. What was your feedback around that? And that time he was only 18.
Diba? Grabe.
So, he met Migs Flores via TikTok. He attended the coaching coach of TikTok. And Migs Flores, you're too young. Pagdating mo ng 18, bumalik ka. Matigas ang ulo. Naghanap ng ibang mentor sa mga mentorship ko na tinanggap siya as saling pusa.
Okay.
And finally, merong online na Discovery Teens. At first time niya nakita ko doon at hindi na siya makatulog. And he approached me. And I said, okay, just watch me on video. And then sabi niya, Coach, 18 na po ako. Paano po sumali? Sabi ko, matin ka muna lang ng seminar ko. In one case, do not ask money from your parents. Build that money for you to afford the seminar. So he took his discovery and breakthrough by selling something online. And all of a sudden, boom, I needed someone to help me every day, put up my laptop. So he started as someone taga-open ng laptop ko, taga-bigay ng tubig. Tapos sinabi kailangan mag-edit. 2 years, Mami N, he's an expert in all areas that I don't want to touch. He's expert around it. But more than that, kasi nakadikit sa akin, parang anino, kasi nga pandemic, di ba, nakatira. Na-absorb niya lahat the way I do. And I just feel so blessed dahil pag meron ako mga coaching opportunity na hindi na kaya ng time ko, ibabato ko siya, nakakalimutan na ako. Can you imagine that? And one of the greatest thing that I'm so proud about this man, no, you have to look at Jed Batallones in the RDR talks. RDR recognized him as kung hindi dahil sa coaching niya, sa kanyang team, they wouldn't grow from 12 to 70 manpower.
Wow.
So last year, February, we put up a business together and he was our GM and he's my partner in business. He owns 75% of the company. And by the end of the year, he just gave so much, like 8 figures net income for the company. And here's the thing, he's now managing at least 16 other company owners under that company without even me being there.
Galing, galing, galing.
So that's one story I'm gonna talk about that I'm sure I'm proud. And again, marami sila, but eto na yung pinaka-recent.
Oo, wag na kayo magselos, recency lang. Hindi ibig sabihin mas magaling si Jed sa inyo. Yan, sige coach. Ano naman, shift naman tayo konti sa medyo personal life mo. Yan, I've heard you talk about one of your biggest accomplishment in 2024 was to get your six-pack abs. Yan. At habang ginagawa mo yung six-pack abs na yan, you were also overshooting your financial goals with your self-managed teams. Kaya parang importante talaga, no? I learned that from you. Nabanggit mo na rin yung 4 areas na yun, no? Importante talaga yung pagkakaroon ng balance sa negosyo at personal na buhay. So, what advice, more specific advice, can you give our audience on maintaining this balance while making sure na tuloy-tuloy din ang team independence at kita rin ang business?
Right. Again, and this is now gonna speak to you as a leader, as a business owner, to make sure these 3 exact words that I will always speak about, and I would always say this is my ultimate number 1 non-negotiable priority is what we call extreme self-care.
Extreme
because
self-care.
When you start to take care of yourself, then you can start taking care of everyone else. It begins with, again, giving a good night rest. Wala pong kayamanan na pwedeng ibayad kung ang feeling mo araw-araw buong-buo kasi nakapagpahinga ka. No amount of, again, money can pay me if I don't feel good about myself. Extreme self-care. Number 2, Mami Ed, I wake up every day for the last 5 years. Pinaka-late na po ang 4:30, normally 4, minsan 3:30, to do what? 1 hour or more meditation, because that 1 hour or more meditation will allow me to be very productive. Sa totoo lang, no, I sign up with 16 huge companies who I take care of as if I'm the CEO of the CEO, and I'm able to do that all without overwhelmment kasi nga I meditate. My mind is so clear, it's 1 hour or more, right? Of course, I do my walking, I do my workout. Again, it's something that I want because I want to be at a 120-year-old, but I don't want to be in a wheelchair. I want to push my boundaries to really be inspiration of what's possible. But above all, my spiritual life is just something that I dearly hold because, again, with God, all things are possible.
Amen to that.
And if there's one advice, your extreme self-care is, for me, an expression of how you worship God because you are able to take care of the divinity, the divine, the masterpiece in you.
So, Coach Russ, talking about sleep, you wake up at 3 to 4 a.m. or 4:30, the latest. So, ano naman yung tulog mo? Do you take naps in between? Do you sleep early?
Alright. So, if possible lang, not every night, if possible lang, 9, nasa bed na ako, 10, tulog na. But it's not every night. You know, it's funny, no? Before I left for Tacloban, I had Zoom, I had this, I had to fix this, and I had no sleep yesterday. But my energy was so high. As long as I have 1 hour meditation, I'm all good. I'm not telling you guys not to have that sleep, but it's bihira lang yon. But I guess that 1 hour sleep is equivalent to 4 hours. That 1 hour meditation for me is equivalent to 4 hours of sleep. Real, deep, connected sleep with a lot of REM.
Wow. And how about food, Coach? Ano naman yung iyong is when it comes to food?
So this year, for the very first time, I want to try it out for 1 whole year, okay? No processed sugar. So far, I'm okay pa rin, and I want to keep it that way. That's my promise to myself. Again, maybe for all of you guys, you have your non-negotiable as a practice of self-care. And this year, my non-negotiable, okay, is 10,000 steps every day. And I'm so glad. Mami N, since December 27 up until now, according to my phone, is actually 13,900 average. So congratulations to me, right? Number 2 is my sugar. I haven't touched any sugar since January 2 up until now. Na-process lang ha. Siyempre, mga barbecue sauce. Alam ko may sugar naman yan. Pero yung mga obvious, mga cake, mga chocolate. Kasi talagang pag nakita mo kumain ng braso de Mercedes, lamon kung lamon. No? So that's where my downfall. No? Diba? But the most important part here is to really take a look at number 3. Okay? Hindi ko na naalala this year nag-process food ako. Okay? In all of my seminar contracts, nakalagay doon, if you're gonna feed me, make sure it's whole food. These are the example. These are the things I want. And make it intentional. And if this is not what you serve, we respect you. Let us know ahead because I want to be responsible with my meals.
Yes.
So just like here, it was very clear. Lutong bahay lang. And I'm just so happy because I feel good about myself because I don't put any garbage anymore in my body. And I intend to keep it the entire year because the moment I keep it the entire year, next year, easy breezy.
Automatic na, no? Yeah, it becomes part of you. Great, great. So, okay, ang dami ko pang gustong itanong, pero ito na lang, no? Nako, bago tayo magpunta sa Q&A, yan, maraming gustong matuto. Meron nga nagsasabi dito na sana tuloy-tuloy ang learning daw nila, no, sa atin. Kaya, tingnan natin, no, sa how do the audience, the people in the audience, how can they learn more about your work other than watching your videos, no? So, paano silang mas matututo sa iyo? Yan. And how can they connect with you for further guidance? When it comes to building self-managed teams.
Siguro, if they're asking how they can learn from me, personally, I have programs that is running every week, but I have to be very upfront. Hindi ko na po ginagawa yung basic, alright? Last year, we had 60 classes. I only did 3. Why? Because if I don't step out, nobody will step up. So that's the first one, no? And the second one here is all about building self-managed means team. Okay, tatlo lang yung magiging role natin bilang leader, okay? Number 1 is to bring the awareness of our own people, everyone, to make sure that we train them to have a new belief system around them, a belief system that is, I am capable, I am responsible, and I matter. And if we teach everyone to embrace that new self-image, that new belief system, then they become self-managed. How do we check? How do we make sure na walang pangit na mangyari? By again, number 2, relationship. And relationship right now is no longer about playing billiards, eating pizza, inuman sa bar. But right now, the relationship that they want is what I told kanina, coaching conversation. It has to be weekly, recognition, accountability, learning group. That's how we build a relationship with it. Because again, kita-kita mamamian. Pag nawawala sa meeting, okay, something's happening, okay,
Yes.
alam ko na. Alam na this, right? And
Yeah.
above all, last but not the least, is make sure that you have a clear structure. And what is the structure? Still, letter A, personal mastery. Everyone is into personal mastery. B, career mastery. What does it mean? Kung ikaw ay sales and marketing, be the best sales and marketing. Aralin mo. Ang daming available dyan sa YouTube, sa AI,
Yeah.
right? You don't have to train them because again, it's all available, but are they into what we call career mastery? Not only career mastery, if they want to be your partners, because the business model right now, MadMeN, is no longer profit only for me, but it's actually prosperity for all. Business owners are now offering business partnership, business ownership, of which a lot of people who really serve me are now part owner of my own organization, right? Just like Jed, no? It's 25% ownership, no? Mix is 10%. I mean, again, I give ownership because why? They learn how to bring money in my own organization. How did they learn? Let them also learn how to become businessman, business mastery, para hindi na ikaw nag-iisip.
Right.
Business mastery, right? However, everyone should be in a leadership mastery, which means they hold their leadership so they can nurture other people, so other people can step up their own leadership. But the most important, Mami El, na talagang sa akin non-negotiable, di baling wala ka itong 4. Number 5 is what we call your spiritual mastery, which means you understand that you are a spiritual being in the human body experience. And when you start connecting to the source, connecting to your spirit, connecting to your soul, everything else is a bonus.
Yes, right. So coach, kung let's say gusto naming matuto, no? Of course, you mentioned all of these and panunuurin namin yung replay. But yung first step, let's say we want to learn about yung sinasabi yung leadership mastery. I know that sa personal mastery, it is the courses in IM Plus coaching, right? How about the others? Andoon din po ba yon? Is that how we
Yes.
get discovery and then after that breakthrough and then after that
All right.
abundance?
So these are the courses we have. No, the entry level is discovery. This is a 2 days really embracing personal mastery, personal leadership. Okay. The second is breakthrough. It's a 3 days really intense.
I
It's
just
dark.
Yes.
It's gory, but it's not just personal mastery. That's where they get to understand what real leadership is all about. That's where leadership mastery. However, you need to learn the tools, the techniques of leadership, which is now coaching, mentoring. Then we have abundance. It's a 60 to 72 days coaching, mentoring program wherein you have a coach that you're gonna talk every day to expand you, to grow you, to give you the best of the best. No? And after that, we have empowered. It's actually 6 months leadership equipping program. Meron pa, no? Yung inattend mong Elevate, yan yung intro to Empowered. So it's 6 months, it's equipping. Ano yung tinuturo doon? Marami. Tulad ng personal branding, AI, okay? How to facilitate human learning. Lahat ng skills. How to run effective professional mentor coach magtuturo sa'yo. Alright? Now, if you want to be serious in what we do, number 5, we have leadership mastery, leadership coaching mastery, right? Again, these are all the things that we learned all together, headed by Coach Gina, wherein it's 2 days and there's a follow-through. It's really mastering coaching, okay? We have number 6. We call it Zenovation. It's actually exclusive for an organization wherein everyone goes through the same experience, the same format, okay? Now, if you're serious around doing what I do, we call it Fasi Ed. Nakaka-proud lang, Mami Ed, no? Si Fibo Lim just message us acknowledging how this course supported him, helped him create the most fulfilling. Magaling na magaling si Fibo before us.
Yes.
But yung galing niya, na dagdagan ng fulfillment, and I guess yan yung magiging role namin sa kanya. Nakaka-proud lang.
Right.
And,
I see
of
the
course, we
next
have
year.
what? Discovery Teens for kids. Again, these are the courses that we have that will support people. And the most beautiful part about our courses, it's not too expensive. It's not cheap. It's just enough value for money. Why? Because we just pay one time big time, but you can attend it again and again for the rest of your life without paying the full fees, maybe just 10% of the full fees, because we understand this is a process that you will have to start learning, relearning, learning, relearning. Mami, and you attend Discovery again, it will be brand new. That's how we are certain of our courses and our programs.
So true. So, alin dyan, Coach, ang sequential? So, it is the discovery, the breakthrough, abundance, tapos empowered.
And abundant.
And abundant.
Ang empowered,
Pwedeng
ang
hiwalay.
empowered don't have to have. Pwedeng solo meal.
Pwedeng solo meal sa tabi. Also, yung kay Coach Gina, no? So,
Yes,
that's...
solo meal din.
Yeah. Okay, great.
Pero
So,
I'll guarantee you, I have to be upfront, when you attend one seminar, hindi ka titigil, nakaka-addict eh.
Kaya nga, Coach, ako'y naka-attend na ng 2, pangatlo, mag-a-attend ako sa March. Tapos yung
Thank
kay
you.
Coach Gina rin. Yay!
Thank you,
Okay,
thank you.
great. No? So, ayan, nandyan na. No? So, you can connect with Coach Russ Juson. Nandyan na nakapost sa ating mga chat boxes. So, please take a screenshot or you copy the links. Alright? Okay, so let's now go to the questions in the chat box na umpisahan nating sagutin hanggang sa 2026.
2026. Wag naman 2027, di ba?
Oo, pwede na, no? So, yung mga nagtatanong tungkol sa libro, it's The Fifth Discipline by Peter Senge. Medyo makapal na libro yan. Ang kapal ng libro na yan, ang hirap basahin.
Right. Mami, and can I give more reference?
Okay, sige
Okay,
po.
so there's one, Reinventing Organization by Peter Laloux.
Take note.
So beautiful book. I mean, I fell in love with it. It's what I eat, breathe, and sleep. Okay. Another thing, it's called Code of Extraordinary Mind by Vishen Lakiani. It's about the consciousness.
Yes.
That's so advanced. But if you want to learn more about digital transformation, it's called Exponential Organization 2.0 by Salim, Salim. So again, one of the things that I would recommend entrepreneurs is to be a never-ending learners.
Yan.
Yung feeling kong bobo ako kasi hindi ako nag-aaral, dapat lang. Pero ngayon nag-aaral na, my God, I'm so genius because again, Mami N, I spend time, an hour or two every day. I haven't missed a single day not studying, not learning. That's why when I open my mouth, it's all what? Spontaneous. Overflowing. I mean, kahit 5 araw tayo dito, Mami N, hindi ako mauubusan. Bakit? Can you imagine every day for the last 30 years, 1 hour or more, learning.
Yan. So, sabi ni Jerwin Zita, under mental models, I really like the idea of fostering a no one should be left behind culture. It promotes inclusivity and team unity. However, I'd like to understand better how this applies in situations where timing is critical. For example, kung ang isang team member daw is late and we delay starting, how do we balance ensuring no one is left out with maintaining operational efficiency? Could we explore strategies to uphold this value without impacting the workflow? Yan. Alam kong excited ka, Coach Russ.
Nice.
Sagutin.
So, we only do the accountability when they understand the impact of them not showing up on time. So, which means that's why before the mental models, we start first with personal mastery. Kasi pag walang personal mastery, kahit anong pukpok mo ng values na gusto mo, mahihirapan ka talaga. So, which means your first job here is to make sure that they are in a journey of personal mastery. Kasi kung hindi, kahit anong mental model ang ipasok mo, mahirap talaga. Hindi ka maririnig niyan. So, which means be in that path. path. And then they understand it. And then they start looking at it. Because in the end, bakit dysfunctional ang team? Because number one, no one trusts one another. Why? People are unable to speak the truth to one another. Bakit? Especially tayong Pinoy. Takot tayo maging totoo, baka ma-reject tayo. Kailan tayo magsasalita kung talagang punong-puno na sa ina, then nag-away-away na hindi na siya marirepair. That's number one. Number two, personal mastery is also understanding that at the end of the day, personal conflict will always arise. But the bigger question here is, are we gonna be embracing? We're gonna be embracing what? Healthy conflict, which means conflict is good. Except lang, hindi yan na-encourage eh. Zip your mouth. See no evil. Hear no evil. Speak no evil. Again, kailan tayo magsasalita? Kung palpak na, nag-away-away na, hindi na ma-repair.
Yeah.
And therefore, let's encourage what? Healthy conflict. As long as there's respect, okay? As long as there's love, and it's okay. Because why? When you do that, when you discuss it, we're now moving people from compliance to commitment. Bakit? Peer-to-peer accountability. Ibig sabihin, you as a leader, hindi na ikaw yung naghahanap. Kayo naghahanapan. Can you imagine, Sep, everyone is a leader. Peer-to-peer accountability. And therefore, when you have peer-to-peer accountability, that's where we get to perform together.
Okay, yes. So the word is peer-to-peer accountability. Yun ang tatandaan natin. Kaya hindi lang yung isa ang nagsisital. The whole organization sisitahin ka. Kaya huwag ka nang malate, di ba? So, okay, there's another question here sa Facebook.
Tsaka Mami N, ang lagi nating sinasabi, at the end of the day, it's really taking a look at on how are we training our people. It has to start with training. Because bakit? Papasok yan sa atin, yung mindset nila galing saan? Sa school. Hindi naman na-train to. Galing saan? Sa bahay. Wala naman sa bahay. Or maybe, galing sa ibang kumpanya. Yung work ethics nila, at saka personal ethics nila, dala-dala nila, not unless na-define mo at naisaulo nila, ganun pa rin. All the trouble in companies right now is people come into organization bringing their past mental models that's no longer working in our own organization, kaya maraming conflict.
So true po. No? So yan, mental models. Kaya ako naman, ang aking experience, sa aking experience coach, yung mga may-ari ng negosyo, you start by you attending breakthrough, you attending discovery, breakthrough, at lahat ng mga seminars. Tapos pag na-imbibe nyo na yung the new way of doing things, the new mental models, then you bring your people in, yung management team ninyo, isa-isa papasukin ninyo para aligned kayo, because that's what we did, and that was easier for us to talk. Tapos yung mga tao sa ibaba, no? Otherwise, nandito kayo, ibang level sila, ay magkakagulo-gulo dahil nga hindi pare-pareho, hindi tayo aligned. So yun ang aking masishare ko as a business.
Hindi aligned, no?
Right. There's one question, si Che del Pilar Vista, sabi niya, ano daw siya, what can I say about opening business after retirement, like early, cause I'm only 45 but in Dubai for 15 years now. Gusto niyang mag-start ng business dito sa Pilipinas. Gusto niya nang umuwi. Yan. So, ikaw, Coach Russ, what do you think? Should they come back?
Okay. So, OFW,
45 years old.
Wanna put up a business, again, before deciding to put up your own business, iba po ang laro ng negosyante at empleyado. Okay? You have to equip yourself first. Number one, find a mentor. A mentor who do have, again, balik tayo, the result that you want, the lifestyle that you want, but above all, the values that you carry. And if that is a match with you as a mentor, you have to also look for community, because again, you need support system. Sa totoo lang, it's not that easy. Alam mo yun, Mami Ed, kung yung DNA mo hindi negosyante, para kang gusto mong kumanta, hindi ka naman singer.
Yeah. Pero
kailangan ng malaki. Yes, and that's why be very aware that you need support system, because if not, ang tawag dyan, tae.
Yan. No, para sa akin naman, kung 45 years old, kung magne-negosyo din lang kayo, magre-retire kayo, wag nyo nang hintayin na 50 plus, 60 plus, mas mahirap na mag-umpisa. Kung gusto nyo talagang subukan ng mag-business, do it as early as now. 45 is still not too late. 35 is better. Of course, 25 is a lot more better. Yan. So, Paano mag-start ng negosyo? 5K lang yung pera ko. Ako po nag-start, Jonathan Bonggalan. Nag-start po ako ng negosyo, 0 ang aking kapital. Pwede kung gusto. Pag ayaw, madami pong excuse. So just let me know if you're interested. We can talk about it. Sign up ka sa ating maminegosyo.com. Yan. No? So I have posted a lot of the names of the books. Maraming nag-hello coach. Hindi ko nababasa lahat. So okay. Marami pong struggle sa business na nag-grow. Totoo po yan, struggle po talaga ang business. Kaya, avail of our starter kit sa ating maminegosyo.com. Yan. So, I think all the questions are there na. Meron pa ba? Meron pa pala dito. When it comes po to attendance, how do you balance empathy and professionalism? When it comes to your attendance policy, should you have a strict number of absences allowed, sick leave and emergency leave, vacation leave, or to be flexible depending on your employees' reasons? So, iba na ang organization na pinag-uusapan natin ngayon. Sa traditional organization, yan yung mga policies na yan. Pero yung binabanggit ni Coach Russ ay yung makabago. So you'll have to decide which kind of organization do you want to focus on. Yan. No? So Coach, would you want to answer this? How do you balance the empathy and professional?
Mami N, I don't even remember handling late, absent, not showing up simply because every week we have feedback. Every week we have coaching. Every week we have recognition. Yes. Maybe the bigger question here is, why do they want to absent? I mean, sorry ha, the reason why they're not showing up maybe because your organization is not happy organization. It's heavy, it's toxic. That's why they have to file leave. Sa amin, sa totoo lang, no, pag nag-cancel ako ng meeting kasi for some reason, they still show up and they go meet. Again, nagbago na po ang landscape ng organization, meaning as of today, the biggest machine, time in, time out. Start treating people as a soul, kaluluwa, and allow them to be who they are. Because when you give it all of who they are, wholeness, they will show up giving their all to you.
Yes.
And again, that's the traditional way of doing it. Sick leave, meron pang etc. Alam mo ba, Mami N, ang mga meeting ko, 4 a.m., 5 a.m., 6 a.m., walang late, walang absent.
Yeah.
Walang excuses. Bakit? Gustong-gusto nilang pumasok. Bakit? Again, ambisyon ko sa mga lahat ng mga katrabaho kong organisasyon, akong consultant, is to build the happiest workplace on earth. And it's happening, Mami N.
Yay!
It's happening. Mas gusto pa nilang pumunta sa office kaysa magtagal sa bahay kasi ang saya sa office, ang ayos ng mga kasama. Why? Because we're encouraging wholeness. I don't know, Mami N, pag pumunta ka ba sa aming workplace, ramdam mo ba na ayaw mong umalis dahil ang saya-saya?
Yes, so true. I saw it with my own 2 eyes. Yung mga kaklase ko sa Breakthrough are also working for you and they're so happy there. Talagang parang sabi ko, ano ba? Parang dito na kayo nakatira. Yes. So
I mean, Mami N, they're all from Cavite, from Bulacan.
Nice.
And yeah, they got a condo beside our place because they'd rather stay in the workplace because why? They're treated as a human being with the soul, but they're not treated like a machine, time in, time out.
Right. That's so true. So very true. Kaya nga, I wanted you to be our guest because I really wanted to learn how to do that. No? So yun. So yung mga nagtatanong po tungkol sa traditional business, so I suggest that you go to our maminegosyo.com and get the starter kits. Tapos from there, if you need to talk to me, pwede kayong mag-book ng clarity call. We can talk about it yung tungkol dito sa isang isang may-ari. No, Rene, you're talking about franchise, you're talking about all the others, yung mga steakhouse. Let me help you by you joining muna our newsletter, getting the starter kit para hindi ko na i-repeat yung aking mga sinasabi. Okay. Coach Russ, meron ka ba daw na paano mo daw tinutulungan ng mga OFWs kasi hindi naman daw sila makaka-attend? Di ba kagagaling mo lang sa Middle East?
May Dubai po ako ngayong January 25 and January 26. Dahil sa sobrang pagmamahal sa akin ni Boss RDR, sasamahan niya po ako. No? And this is actually our love for OFW. Wala po kaming bayad dito. Ang babayaran nila, pagkain, venue. But they have 2 full days with us. And again, OFW, no? Ako naman muna in Dubai, no? I guess I have some online courses that I am actually, I'm actually selling, and a lot of OFW are helping there. So there's an online course, and hopefully we get to create an online discovery maybe within this year, so you guys can attend whatever seminars we have here in the Philippines online. Pero iba pa rin kasing face-to-face talaga.
How will they know, Coach? How will they know? Doon na din sa mga link.
Sa Transformation Coach Russ, they'll just send a message. We have active people giving informations there.
Sige, so Transformational Coach Russ daw, no? Message lang kayo and may mga sasagot sa inyo sa mga OFW. Yan. May nagtatanong daw kung meron daw kayong consultancy engagement.
Definitely yes. Again, just message there. You'll be, again, I actually talk to anyone and everyone to help them and support them. But till balik ko, before you engage with me in a real serious talk, you must attend first kahit discovery para naiintindihan nyo saan ang pinagagalingan ko. Kasi halos lahat ng idea ko hindi talaga minsan katanggap-tanggap sa traditional business. But kung meron kang bagong mindset, swak po tayo.
Yeah. Okay, so many more business questions. You can just message me, no? Tumatak sa akin, sabi nitong isa. Tumatak sa akin yung DNA sa negosyo. Paano po ba malalaman kung meron kang DNA sa negosyo?
Alright, lahat tayo may DNA. Ang tanong, anong klaseng DNA ang gusto mo? Yung DNA mo is based on result, which means ano ba ang kultura? Kung toxic ang kultura ng ating negosyo, ang DNA mo ay toxic. Kung masaya at inspirasyon ang DNA mo, masaya at inspirasyon. So if you don't like your DNA, start creating and crafting your blueprint. And we call this your organizational blueprint, alignment with organizational design and development in such a way that you have to define. No, ang problema kasi sa karamihang negosyante, lalo sa Pilipinas, na pag-isipan ng sari-sari store, ni walang mission vision, it has to be that way. Parang nagpatayo ako ng bahay, may nakita ko hollow blocks, bumili ng hollow blocks, ni walang engineer, walang architect, tapos kailangan pa lang ng bintana, bubutasan na naman. So, wala eh. And then, you need help, you need support, and get yourself into a certain level of, again, making sure that before you build something solid, make sure it has a blueprint, and I think that's something you can start with.
Yes. So again, I invite you to get the starter kit that's free sa maminegosyo.com. That's how we can also lead you to your DNA and how to recreate your DNA. Kasi hindi naman lahat ng tao ay ang ninuno nila ay negosyante. Merong nag-uumpisa sa generation na ito. So baka ikaw yung generation na pwedeng mag-umpisa, malay mo. Depende kasi yan sa iyong business calling. So we can talk more about that, no? May tanong dito si Novel Arch, Coach. Yan ba daw self-managed team ay pwede din ba yan sa construction na business? Dahil puro construction workers daw yung kanilang mga tao.
Pwede. No, in fact, may na-meet akong construction company owner, founder. He's very young. He was so successful except that at the height of his success, anxiety and stress, napanood niya ako sa TikTok, umattend, nag-discovery break to, naging kaibigan ko. And then, when we created his DNA, in 3 months' time, we were able to, deliver 200 million worth of project. But the thing around that, Mami N, no? Yung stress, anxiety na wala, napalitan ng bakasyon, joy. Bakit? In 3 months' time, we were able to install and instill specifically new people because some people will not like what we do. But generally, yung mga teammates niya, 100% right now are Gen Z, 21, 22. And they were always creating. So this year, I was offered for business partnership, to take care of the OD, of which everyone is excited to jump from 200 billion to 1 billion. Only a 4-year-old company of a construction company.
Yes, so yes na yes, no? Novel Arts, yes na yes. Kasi nakita ko with my own 2 eyes na even driver of Coach Russ. Driver, ano lang ang pinag-aralan noon, no? Yung mga tao na doon na nasa office niya, naging self-managed teams at na-affect pa yung lives ng ibang mga driver doon sa kanilang place. So, it's really a culture.
Even, Mami N, even in our farm, our farmers, our cook, everyone who works in our farm, they do their weekly mastermind meeting. Can you imagine that? Their weekly accountability, their weekly mentoring. Oh my God. Pero dapat doon Tagalog nagde-develop kami.
Yes. And ang hirap pong i-explain. You might be saying na puro kalokohan yan. I could not imagine it. Sa totoo lang po, you cannot imagine it really until you experience it. That's why I'm inviting you to Discovery, because that's where you will get a feel of it. And then later on to breakthrough. And then pag nandun na kayo, you will say, sana lahat ng tao ko dumaan dito. And once they go through that experience, madali na lang po dahil aligned na po kayong lahat. Yan.
Yeah, ako Mami En, no, ang guarantee ko, no, if you are still starting and you don't have 15,000, again, discard 15,000, go do ako naman muna, it's 999. And if you have people, bring the entire organization. I'll guarantee you mag-iiba ang kilos ng tao nyo, because doon ko i-introduce ang power of personal development, power of personal mastery. And if you guys journey together around it, you've now become from a traditional organization to right now a learning organization. Kasi pareho na kayo ng, again, mindset. And then you now define what? Your DNA or your mental models. And you now start to align yourself that, yes, we want this together. And again, bring your entire, again, 999 lang po yan this week, para ka lang kumain ng, dalawang bucket ng Jollibee. And that's lifetime experience. That's a gift that I have, actually. 30 years in the personal development, learning this, I actually was able to squeeze it in one whole day workshop.
Okay, great. No? Tapos may nagtatanong dito, how do you set boundaries to your employees? Small company lang daw at maluwag daw sila sa rules and regulations. Again, nasagot na yan ni Coach Russ na alignment din talaga yan. How do you handle that? It starts from you as the leader, but you cannot just impose. Kaya kailangan merong pagbabago sa kultura ng inyong organization. Yan. Tapos si Charmaine is asking regarding weekly mentoring or coaching of employees. Are you more technical about coaching sa work or more inspirational or personal coaching or mentoring po? How would you answer this, Coach Russ?
All right. I don't do inspirational and motivational because I don't believe in that. I cannot motivate you. That's your job. I don't do technical because that's your job. Why will I teach you? There's YouTube. There's what we call ChatGPT. It's all there. But I do transformational, which means I talk to you as a human being. I talk to you is, what are you learning about yourself? Why is this not happening? Now you understand. You have not been committed. So make sure you commit next week. How will commitment look like? And what if you're not going to deliver that commitment? What will be the consequence? More than that, ask the question, what support do you need? We're all here rallying for you. We're going to check in with you next week. So again, kaya palpak ang tao because again, number one, kulang sa commitment. Yun lang i-reinforce natin because when you're committed, you'll do whatever it takes.
Right.
Karamihan kasi, hindi ko po alam yan. Hindi ka lang committed. Talaga po, hindi ko po alam. Okay, bigyan kita ng 10,000 pesos ngayon. Matutunan ko pa. Yan lang naman pala eh. So it's really talking about the person being. Remember, please write this. When the who is clear, the how will appear.
When the who is clear, the how will appear. Pakisulat naman, pakitype. Yan.
Which means kung klaro ka sa pagkatao mo at kilala mo kung sino ka, kung ano mang ibibigay sa iyo na task, posible. You know, I even have, a farmer, no read, no write, pero marami siyang bagong nagawa kasi nag-YouTube.
YouTube. Nasa YouTube na lahat.
Nag-i-improve sila. Oo, lahat sila nag-i-improve. Sabi niya, sir, huwag na tayo bumili ng pataba kasi hindi natural yan. Ito po, ano yan? Ito, molasses. Yung nakaliskis ng isda. Tatakpan natin. Pag nagbula, ito. Nung nakita kong halaman, oh my God, ang ganda, ang galing. Dahil nakapag-save ka sa akin ng pataba, ayan, may bonus ka.
Yay.
So, their bonus, their income, their increase, their trips, their incentive is based on the improvement that they're bringing into the business.
Wow. Okay. This is a question from my friend Dante Cortesa. Sabi niya, what do you mean by guaranteed healing? This is tungkol sa IM Plus. Sa IM, Ako naman movement pala to. So what?
In the end,
nagda-drive daw siya while listening.
Yeah, in the end, we are where we are, and if we're not creating what we want because we carry a lot of baggages in our life, and simply it's not healed, and we need to understand what are these baggages, what are the things that's holding us back, and generally, it starts with the resentment that we keep in our life. And this resentment becomes what? Resistance. Ayaw na natin kausapin. And the resistance becomes what? Revenge. Up until it stays long, up until it pulls you down. And kung naman muna, we're gonna work on it through a structured learning experience that will keep us clear. And I think that's the biggest takeaway. Little did this one whole day lang ang daming feedback na buti na lang umattend ako. Ito nangyari sa akin. Ito nangyari. I mean, those are the things that's going on, but it's actually cannot get it from reading book, cannot get it from watching YouTube or maybe our podcast, but you can get it in through a structured learning experience that you will learn in the seminar itself.
Okay, so mga structured learning experience, ang hirap po talagang i-describe. No, may nagtatanong dito, sabi niya, pwede ba daw via Zoom na lang, no? I have attended it. Iba talaga yung live ang attendance. Kaya sana naman mag-attend tayo ng live. Kahit na magkaroon ng Zoom, iba. I cannot explain it, but these are the structured learning exercises that you really have to be present, you really have to be there so that you will be able to learn. Learn it and absorb it, and so that there will be a transformation. Yan. Paano po haharapin ng mga taong pinagkautangan for someone na nabankrupt ng 8 years na furniture business last September? Alam ko po sa sarili ko na wala po akong intention na hindi makabayad. Gusto daw niyang magbayad, Coach Russ, pero wala daw siyang pambayad. Paano daw niyang i-face yun? Would you still want to answer?
Hindi ko rin alam.
Hindi na namin alam ang answer dyan.
I cannot.
Okay.
Kasi Mami N, you have to understand my come from is never about again, transformation from within. So mahirap din magbigay ng mga house kasi hindi ko naman alam ang buong senaryo ng buhay niya.
Yes.
But it's always the who. Now, if you want me, tiwala
Right.
na unang-una, forgive yours, accept that you did not do it intentionally. Nagkamali ka. Pangalawa, patawarin mo sarili mo. At pangatlo, okay, just be in a state wherein you trust that God is there to support you, and maybe there's an answer to that when your energy, when your container, when your vessel is in alignment to His abundance.
Amen to that. Ako rin na nababad yung buhay ko, no? Nagkautang-utang kami and there was no way out. I was very depressed. I tried to kill myself so many times, but God did not take me until finally sa awa ng Diyos, because nasa puso ko talaga na ako ay magbabayad. Whatever it takes, I will have to pay. And sa awa ng Diyos, nabayaran po namin yung aming utang. Kaya hang on in there, just keep on. Huwag takasan yung mga tao. Unahan sila para sa akin, no? Kung may utang ka, huwag kang magtago. Puntahan mo sila kahit nasampalin ka, kahit nasuntukin ka, pasuntok ka na lang kasi kasalanan mo naman, pera nila eh. Hindi mo nabayaran, no? But then just show your sincerity. Wala naman sa awa ng Diyos, wala naman na nagsampal sa akin or nanuntok. But just the sincerity of you going there and telling them that you cannot pay, they will empathize with you, no? Kasi importante you come from your heart. Okay. So sabi daw ng iba is you start with the why, tapos sabi mo start with the who. Ano ba talaga, Coach Russ? Kanya-kanya siguro.
Okay, so Mami N, ang dami namang alam yung why niya. Bakit hindi pa rin nangyayari? Kasi niya kilala yung who.
Oo.
Kahit klaro ka sa why mo, pero yung who mo hindi clear, useless pa rin yung why.
Yeah, so true. So very true. Okay, so may tanong, resentment, resistance, yung pangatlo is revenge po. Hindi daw niya na-capture. So, yan na. So, before we finally let you go, yan, meron pa. Do you have any parting words para sa ating audience?
Unang-una, Mami N, I'm never busy for you. Alam mo naman, pag mahal mo ang tao, lagi kang may time, and you know I love you. You notice I insisted on this. You notice I humanap pa ng paraan. That's how committed I am to your vision and your mission, and we're one in this. Maraming salamat for having me here. Number 2, sa mga nanonood, nakikinig, no? Again, most important part, no? Extreme self-care. Start it today. You don't need anything. You don't have to pay thing. Tonight, matulog kayo on time. Tama ng scroll. Tama ng babad ng kung ano-ano mga entertainment kasi you needed that, no? Number 2, wake up and meditate. Again, be still. Know that I'm God is my mantra. Number 3, exercise, move. Number 4, learn. So that when you open your mouth, people gets to see you. But more than that, serve the world, because that is what is your life purpose is in whatever way, shape, or form. So again, just do what you can to feel good no matter what. Because when you feel good, you feel God. Why? God is good all the time. And the way you feel good about yourself is through extreme self-care. And therefore, when you have extreme self-care, when you're in front of your work as a businessman, hindi ka ma-overwhelm kasi ikaw punong-puno at kaya mo pagsilbihan yung mga taong gusto mo pagsilbihan kasi ikaw mismo alagang-alaga.
Wow. Extreme self-care. Yan. Okay, so hanggang sa muli, keep shining. Remember to like this video and share it with your friends. And most of all, kung gusto nyo pang matuto ng more topics about managing people's problems at ibang mga topics tungkol sa business, remember to sign up sa aming newsletter and get our free starter kit sa maminegosyo.com. And in the meantime, let me invite you to sign up for our session next week. Next week po, yung mga nandito, baka gusto nyong nasa Zoom na kayo. It's gonna be very exciting as well. Dahil alam ng madaming nagtatanong, no? Madaming nagtatanong kasi alam ng madami na dati kaming franchisees. So maraming nagtatanong tungkol sa franchising. So I'm very happy that one of my mentors who is also a Go Negosyo business mentor like me has agreed to be our guest next week. And isa sa kanyang success stories ay ang kanyang experience with Injap Sia, who is the founder of Mang Inasal. Siya din may mga kwento tungkol sa big franchises like Potato Corner, Julie's Bake Shop, at saka Generica. And be ready to ask all the questions you want to ask about being a franchisee and a franchisor. Sa ating guest for next week, the franchise guru of the Philippines, si Armando Boots Bartolome. And join us live, no? Nakalagay na dito. Sign up na tayo sa link natin. That's our Zoom link so that we will see you next Tuesday, 3 p.m. So bye-bye Coach Russ and bye-bye everyone. Yeah, see you next week. Bye.